Hello, my name is William Rose, and welcome to today's Town Hall presentation. Here we will discuss veteran homelessness in Nebraska, as well as problems and issues veterans face before becoming homeless. In the end, we will discuss how to fix this and put an end to veteran homelessness once and for all. So we will talk about what a veteran is and how they become homeless. We will dive into some history of veteran homelessness. We will get a better understanding of who veterans are. We will discuss the causes and why they become homeless. After we figure out what the causes are, we will then come up with some solutions to bring these men and women and families back to a place that they can actually call home. So the United States military veterans are the keepers of peace globally. They not only reduce conflict and restore human rights in the United States, but have historically fought for other countries for their rights and freedoms as well. So what is a veteran? A veteran is a former member of the armed forces of the United States. They consist of being in the branches called the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. These individuals served in active duty, and they were discharged under conditions which were other than dishonorable. To be considered active duty, a veteran must work for the military full-time and be deployable for war at any time. So veteran homelessness goes clear back to the Revolutionary War, but it wasn't until the Vietnam War that the general public saw a collaboration between military veterans and homelessness. This was also about the time where mental and physical abilities started to be investigated as a potential cause or culprit to the veterans and homelessness. Other factors as well as substance abuse also play a significant role. So is there a connection between all of these that create veteran homelessness? Are they linked together? I think they most certainly are. So going into some demographics of our homeless veterans, they're mostly adult, there's some elderly, but there are some families out there on these city streets that have children as well. But unfortunately, homelessness does not discriminate. Age varies with the homeless, as there are families who may become homeless, and these families may have children as well. To be classified as a veteran to serve in the military, the minimum age is 18 years of age or older. Most veterans are in their 20s and 30s when they are discharged from service. This is why most homeless veterans range in this range. You would also be surprised to know that even elderly veterans are homeless, up into their well up into their mid-80s. So within the military branches, the predominant gender is male. Therefore, males make up about 92% of the homeless veterans found out on the streets. Recently, within the last 2 decades, it was ruled that gender diversification was unconstitutional, and females were then allowed to assume combat roles in the state of war. With mental and physical rigors that war deals on an individual females, homelessness began to rise, and then that makes up the other 8% of the female veteran homelessness. Females are even at an increased risk for reasons such as post-traumatic stress disorder, major depressive disorder, and also experiencing military sexual trauma. There has even been a rise in single mothers who are homeless because of readjusting to civilian life is not a norm for these females. So what are some of the root causes that stems our veterans to turn to the city streets? So a low socioeconomic status compiled with mental health issues and substance abuse are the leading cause of veteran homelessness. Most veterans report increasing amounts of PTSD, and mental health disabilities. This, coupled with a very low pay rate and no prior savings before discharge, leaves little option for the military vet in the civilian world. Symptoms of PTSD include depression, anxiety, guilt, and anger. Dealing with these signs and symptoms may be hard or go unnoticed by regular family members. Prevention includes seeing a medical health professional. However, most veterans are unaware that they're even experiencing PTSD and will not seek help for their illness. Depressive states of PTSD leads to substance abuse, where drugs and alcohol are used to cope. Many military veterans have a hard time coping and discussing the trauma that was endured during wartime experiences. It is estimated that more than 2 out of 10 veterans with PTSD also have a substance abuse disorder. Failure to cope and lacking a support system at home drives these veterans into less productive lives. This leads to depression and lack of motivation required to be contributing members of society, so they turn to becoming homeless. So how can we end, or how can Omaha specifically end veteran homelessness? I think it's a pretty easy fix, really. There's 2 programs out there that are currently working, and I think if these 2 programs were combined for the city of Omaha, that we would get every veteran off the streets and get them the rehabilitation and the housing that they need. The 2 projects are the Veterans Community Project, which started in Kansas City, Missouri, and another policy or project that I'd like to also bring to the table is adopting a functional zero policy. And we'll get into these 2 in the next couple of slides. So the Veterans Community Project, or VCP, they're a nonprofit group. They build and erect villages of tiny houses. These houses surround a community center. This is a place that these veterans can call home. They can stay as long as they need. They get the help that they needed. And there's a sense of camaraderie around there as they have their fellow veterans that are living right next door that they can talk to. So the VCP is a nonprofit group that is committed to seeing no veteran left on the streets. Through this program, small villages are erected consisting of 40 to 50 homes. There is a community center in the center which offers counseling, case management, medical, dental, as well as a commercial kitchen for congregation. This offers a place for safety and a place to call home while the veterans take time to get back on their feet. The VCP is completely donation driven. The cost of each individual tiny home is roughly about $15,000 per unit. The cost is taken care of by individual sponsors that help fund the VCP. They receive no grants, no state funding, nor federal funding. These villages need about 5 acres of land to develop. Once the land is secured, the VCP acquires volunteers for help and constructs over 70% of the village. The Veterans Community Project is 100% funded by donations. A person is able to donate a one-time contribution or set up a reoccurring monthly donations. A person is also able to sponsor a certain village or an individual home. These proceeds go towards construction, maintenance, and refurbishing items such as mattresses and other individual household items that they may need. The VCP looks for local community influencers for stakeholders. Once partnered up with these persons who seek the same interests, the goal is receiving donations. The VCP program also relies solely on private donations to fund these villages and community centers. Therefore, the main focus is donation-driven. Once enough funds are secured, the land is then acquired and approved, and buildings are then erected. So adopting a functional zero policy, and I think that these 2 can work hand in hand with each other. So another approach would be adopting a functional zero policy. Under this policy, no veteran is left homeless. The goal is to keep the homeless veteran numbers living on the streets to 0. Lincoln, Nebraska has utilized this plan and has shown great results. It works by having a greater number of housing compared to the number of homeless veterans. Once the veterans get housed, then the rehabilitation starts. And before you know it, that veteran is off on their own again. There are various sorts of shelters available, but Functional Zero works best by finding these homeless veterans individual housing. This is a place that they can call home and become rehabilitated once again. Once the rehabilitation starts, most homeless veterans are supporting themselves and sustaining their own livelihood. Housing could come from tiny homes or individual apartments. The main cost associated for a functional zero policy is housing. Getting those housing covered costs would need to come from private donations, grants, state and federal funds. Once this is secured, the next step is data collection and community buy-in. Understanding how many homeless veterans there are in the community is the key to knowing how many housing units are needed. Having a greater amount of housing compared to the average number of homeless veterans is how the program stays successful. So we can do this if we all work together. An end to homelessness does not mean that no one will ever experience a housing crisis. And an end to homelessness means that every community will have a systemic response in place that ensures homelessness is prevented whenever possible, or is otherwise a rare, brief, or non-reoccurring experience. Having these two plans in place will ensure that no veteran has to live on the streets ever again. I want to thank you all for your time and listening to this presentation.